ó gbọ́ngàn. Ta ló sọ pé kò kọ̀kẹ́? OPP ó pọ̀pá, OPG ó gbọ́ngàn.
You know, the funny thing, they tried to make an excuse, you know, the same built-in excuse that Street Judas Masvidal gave before the fight. Oh, Street Judas, you know, Dana's like, oh, Masvidal only had a week preparation for Marty Fake Newsman, so we got to do the rematch because he only had a week to prepare the first time. I'm like, Dana, what are you talking about, dude? That fight goes the same way, guys. Marty Fake Newsman is going to be boring. He's going to beat him up for 5 rounds. It's going to be boring. It's going to be the same exact outcome. Why are you going to reward a guy that's been ducking fights, that's ducking a fight with me, and then you just automatically give him a title shot? What did he come back and prove? Did he come back and win a fight? No, he didn't come back and win a fight. I came back and I finished Tyron Woodley, an all-time great, a Hall of Famer in the UFC. What has he done since then besides make excuses and duck fights? And you promised me Jorge Masvidal. You said, oh, it's you and George. That's the fight to make. You know, everybody wants to see that. That's the fight that people want to see. That's a real grudge match. We actually want to kill each other. We used to be best friends. Now we want to kill each other. I'm the king of Miami. He's walking around like he owns a 305, but he knows who his daddy is. I'm his daddy. I'm Jorge Masvidal's daddy. I want a Father's Day present this year.
So I was quite happy this morning. I feel like for this camp, I've pushed myself, my own self, on my own, you know, with my own training, just that extra little bit further. I've done extra everything, and it was funny because the UFC man, like the boss of them, was in this morning. He was like, I ain't never seen intensity like that. Now he could say that to all the fighters. I don't believe he does, because he was genuinely like, you could hear the pin drop. We trained for 2.5 hours today non-stop. It was brutal. It really was brutal, and it just made me realise sometimes I doubt myself. Sometimes I think, am I working harder than the next guy? Like, you know, obviously we're in the generation of the fake generation, shall I say. Everyone can just kid everyone, and you look on social media and everyone's training hard and everyone's living their best life and so forth, so on. And sometimes doubt, even a guy like me, I'm a mentally tough bastard, and sometimes doubt can creep into your head. Oh, am I as training? And today just confirmed it for me. Like the guy said they've been to like a few gaffs in England and in America, and they were like, we ain't never seen intensity like that. We were like, we didn't even know you trained like that, Darren, because you're quite a joker online. So I was quite proud of myself, to be honest with you. But this is me not to tell you how hard I train. You know, we all should be putting in a sufficient amount of effort into it, but this is just me to tell you what I'm actually doing.
If you're not running it back, if you're not going to reconsider that, there are only 2 options: Colby, Gilbert Burns. Those are the only options, right?
Yes.
Those are the only options that I don't think you can justify giving him a title shot off this, as much as I would love to. Hey, the guy's unbeaten now in 9 fights, winning streak 8 fights. But really, Leon Edwards, let me tell you something. Kamaru Usman and Jorge Masvidal aren't fighting again after they fight in September or so, right? Or August. They're not going to come back in December. I mean, historically, those guys aren't fighting that actively unless it's a very quick fight. So you're going to wait now a whole year, probably March, right? You can't do that.
He has to fight.
Colby, Gilbert, or Bilal are the 3 options.
Yes. You know, like you said, it would be good to see him fight again with Bilal Muhammad. But I think Bilal Muhammad's going to have to fight somebody else in the top 10. Somebody around 9, 8, in that range. Leon Edwards will be fighting against one of those 2 guys that you named, because then you start to get some clarity in terms of who's next. I believe it'll be him and Colby Covington. That'll be the fight I think will get made. Because I think if you put Leon and Gilbert Burns together, now Gilbert Burns is fighting against the guy that is on the short list for a title fight. And if he wins, how do you put Gilbert back in there with Kamaru Usman after what you just saw? So I think you put it with Covington, because the winner easily faces Usman Masvidal winner, no questions asked.